wade mu ena abono aseda enkoma class estate Ghana said dane da nyina no yes nas nesi anu ye din say dia na dwumekoi ena aso ye chi one boy ye chi dom dia den pa eye na enwume kase nsem bebre ena atiate sesemufo waso krojen si wasunsuo si ametina se ne emfa mesomo na kase he na poso ebie na ene oman Ghana photo samfo kwagina na sebedwem edi eye 2026 media budget ne atuja na ansa no bekom na sebedwem no na sebedwem fo bebre akasa omo expectation ne ma no msu se es wo ka ho ensem
Dama so na budget ne ho sensem atime mu for nsam bi atuga wo hwede nka ho dze ma wo pan de nka ho ne gusi ne bubotum akofom nanso ayaza entum ambanda
na budget ho sensem ya sudu ani echemo finfin mante menya mankasi mo man no ho wono so kra na no atum ansa kra na wono nyamfo atofo se bekom na chebedwem no wono so ne ma no su se es wo ka ho asem no wono so edi atudwa
Sikasami unsensemi ya na ebakoda azwe ewrem na finance minister sanso densambi to go chere pempenze Ghana man pen to tonzama ye mes mobe ya busasem biara emba hone dwumeza wozi nemu
enyume ye nsempi ye ka we hwani atena se se don hwere baako ka ye hwe na enema ene onu onyafo atofo se na de tuudwa wo mu ansa kram onu onyafo atofo se be kom na se bedwem no muso ni so ade hu enema na eso ka ho ensem no se mufu aso krojen eda ho edhu atepa ses no ayeto no ene o se emfa emesomo ekui akode ye bo asare enemy din mene
tumai dausa
Madas FM 102.7
Africa sie ne yemfiase na yemfiase dia enne oman Ghana photo samfo okomra sebedwem eye 2026 media budget ni kwa kotudwa na ansa na no na that media do koso mra sebedwem no na enne na do ani tre mra sebedwem pa dia eye mpanyimfo bebre MPs ahodo jeja manchia ena semtrefo bopuni wo mo no oh na enne moni so ade hu pa ene se enne ma be na mpese wono nyamfo eye Dr. KASE atofo eka ho asem bi na enne makasa pa eye wono nyamfo eye John Dark wo na masebedwani ye mamamfo wo eye so ampeso yaso wo so no de ade pa wo pese eye Dr. KASE atofo eka ho asem no edoso pa no onka hu se no mo so bebie enwuma mamebu na ye entu ono no pese o kasa fa eye mebu no eho ehwa eno no nyamfo koju opon kromasto so mukuwa no smesme kebi na de mebusa na asemba akope se eye oman Ghana yesika jinabia no pese hu data no baby akodru ron de nani so ade hu no pese wonu nyafo begina simpi so mase bedwema wakasa efasa ensem no ehwa na eye ablekuma south mase bedwani wonu nyafo Alfred Okovandapoy eso se wono so de pese obusa ene se esa binding ne megugu akwan mu se ne ebe ya ye environment no bibia betimi akototen na betimi gina na so pampe pa bibia frama bia bokra na bibia ehwoso ye environment no ne kra na ena onmonyan for Clement Apak ye so ye nimso de adisue mu ano se oh Miss Nebusa question afa eye free SHS onya question be so hu se eye Dr. KASE atofo sen eba begina na sebedwem mu akasa afa free SHS ho yenkonyenkotie wo mo nsam ye o kan ye ebi.
Well, I expect that the finance minister will tell us how the 133, the promise is going to take off. The basis of every economy is a jobs report. What is a jobs report? The reports are dire. In fact, millions and millions of people are still out of job. The government's foremost promise was to increase jobs in this country to ensure that thousands and thousands of the youth who are out of job will get jobs. In fact, it's really the opposite, that since this government came, people have been laid off.
Mid-year is not the time to announce new policies and new projects because we have had the economic policy and we have approved so far in the first 2 years 650 billion Ghana cedis for the government to go and implement whatever priorities they have. I think anybody who hears new announcements, new promises, new strategies that they want to spend money on this or that, which is not in the original economic policy, should throw it away.
So, it's important that we all realize that climate change is a serious issue. You know, when I was growing up, right here at Koligono, Mamplobi, Choco, we have coconut trees. Today, There's not a single one that is standing. Look at the recent floods, So it should tell us that we live in real times.
I mean, I think that the finance minister's presence in parliament today is in fulfillment of a constitutional responsibility. And we expect that as honest as he has been and as honest as the president and the government have been, we will lay it out to Ghanaians the way it is.
Matters FM 102.7.
Enti when the Marshall for be expectation and abra 2026 media budget or my Ghana photo sound for Dr. KASE at to force ne ko jina Marshall be atudwa no wo mo so niam no mutu say se papa e ka ho nsem bi e no modi tudwe
Dr. KASE ato force no swa for ohwe hene sika ho nsem ndedue no ya zampanyfo oda wotu motnase na was media budget ni zibo tuga na mra obokọ no obisa timemfu bebre che hona adwen de fansam bebre ho na wona timemfu ni business sambere tuga wo che de want mo hwehwan de budget ya wo beberi di ya ne cost of living ya na tetena mu na nzama bi no do otutu mo kofom zema ya nde biara no mpanyfo ba obetnase bu anda book no do na fe na nso oyaza ya nkasa nya wo nya sitima na de yemfili ho yana sitinam ti wosrede nzama na ne buntum ko for mes mo beya timemfu ye hu batum ahenha anya de bia rogun krata do na working kan na de na FFF na yetim so na oyaza ye brent timemfu ne bi hon sem bia was too gwani
wherever we fish now it should keep it up. Looking at the economy, there's so much improvement in our life, but there's need to be improvements. There's all the indicators are correct. We should fill it in our pockets. And so whatever they're going to implement to improve upon our lives, that's the most important thing. And coming back to the health sector too, I mean, the free primary care is a very good initiative.
I'm postings na say admissions na mben because nkola the more you ko enu na nkola no so do so. Nti ka mbetimi anya private sector bia ambe pulling na ma sponsor nkola na ni obi na to school akọ honest senka mbetimi amomu san duma bia na aseso mogu manya fe na be grading na one pass na akọ say you have to go right kenu e be boy kakra
Yo the expect say ejma ye cancer smith workman ye wa and boss kan ya but siano go factory no so ko fa das na the board ntimi fa ama ejise ejma na basuru kakra smith no so the board de ama ejise ntimi to ama ejma no so se no enkoso.
I'm expecting a very good budget to be the minister and those people. So far, I don't think we are having a hard time in some places of the economy, but so far so good. And I think after this budget, everything will be way better than me. Oh, you know, the expectation I see Minister of Finance or media sectors and as media schools are running a network in Nyanka more no point to education and rules and journalists running the idea.
Matters FM 102.7.
Enza yakwati yetimemfu ni bi na wadi wansam to go awache den wanzi nka wobenya nka budget no omo onflect won hena asetena mu mes mo be ya hen leave ni botum akwanka na amanye no sende de biara no woba na oboswe nkrata do na FFF na nso ya za hen timemfu na nka ye feel won hena asetena mu tipemfu hwe na won bibi won fanfan
yebekoswa ejinemu ewo amanfo expectation ewo budget ho ensensem de enkon finfin mantem yedro finfin mantem de amankasim omahene ena ekasai ne nkase a wokan na ne se ennei Dr. KASE ato force no ye oman Ghana photo samfo okojina mrasebedwem no akaka 2026 media budget na bono ne opese oka ho asem pass wo se ne pa de tememufo ya setenemu pa de uniska wuntimi endidi ene ne mebi etetesa enti ono peso hu sese no man Ghana sika sem na nkasa enye papa ene ekọ eye oman hene awo mankasim traditional area osagefo eye amanfo edu a wotoso enan nensem eni
budget asema first nanka yeyina yenyimde inflation ma nyame pi no bokoso me obi a me projects pa na cement iron rod labor mokika ho about some few years ago na oyazen na make say ya muguda me a new project. Me to me offend then 5,000 Ghana cedis. What kind of quarter cement by 50 bucks? Me to me some day. Some years back, me them 5,000 ya. Cement me do baby ara. And see, ma momede as a businessman no. Enyama pii akofum no ho akofum business so rekodo ana mfato ho krosa mama mpanyi de edwuma me ye o che de VAT aye tua no bosum bia no bosomo so ina no enyim de this percentage ahwe first nka sika dodo a itua tisi ano da ye den no that so nse be moment de nka here no me be kan de bia offended prices of goods yeah na no na ye dwen ye dom ho nka inflation o manyama no bokoso in young komankasi market obiara bedidase there food prices ayeden abafu enti bampo budget ni nyima asama or babaka me hu da so baka da so obama wa kofu mo dia ye beda na ase
Wey ya osaje fo amanfo edu a wotoso ennan wasaka sai efa o my Ghana say yesidi a enne enkrofo man so sika no ebo tipen no eno so nchemu sei eno de bai
onna me there the more the input no bonaba fominti ama me workers ma tutu opim and they are now happy intinya da be afford prices no ko fom no my profit no ko soro no me keep profit to myself. One my workers, and I will not lie. Before that, I was paying my workers around 1,800 a month. Now I'm giving them over 2,500 a month. The gain is because food prices to cook for me. 1 month for so now and then and they must also enjoy. In time I come my business hotel where labor of an turnover, their workers, they juma day, it's not there. Hansi. Menyim mama kan there so abayama ebono wa abafo more apparently the cause of this is the stability of the dollar. Once the dollar stabilized amanyame p no buyer then abafo
Eni ekokotie ye omahene owo Mankasim traditional area wono aso na esaye president Emma Mankasim traditional council na ewosa ensemi na ekoye adoye Emma Jama group ai wo ho diska 30,000 Ghana cedis ene koma wo mo na ina ekoye se na ebe ya amamre ene amania kwaso ewo mfimfi mantem ne befa ne ntuma pa efra na enchemu sei ene ode bai
obiara oye benevolent donation ne no heden onyaza oye zenemo me obia ma minim de me benevolent nkran de ono metaye pa na momma major one aye de me kada mama mfwe supporter na sabio me wadama hawi na waba na obu wa ntumi hwe n'enyima na nka de mentumi mwo ntone de ye edwuma no obi ka dem occupational hazard ehwa okro wo hwe n'edwuma no hwa hinzi no onenye de wo hwa eyi baba we baba education obi baba health obi baba legal issues ni na no wabaka warabu ho ka wa ho da asam no auto akomado ntumi hwe n'enyima na mom sabio ni na no gina wanka senyimpa kono so orientation say obia sabio enye benevolent on wabaka mpo akwan bia do no enkasa wo aba mi naturally no ma woda ma abadan nti wabaka not asuma na ma aboa
Majas FM 102.7
Omahene owo Mankasim traditional area wasaye president Emma Mankasim traditional council eye osaje fo amanfo edu a wotoso ennan nene ene ekotie no
Says ya budget won say sama na yeguda yezulurum na mom no timemfo hye hwana adwen wie na onyoyamfo ba presenting the budget no ehwo e no zen bi to go che dem pempreze e na nkatimemfo bebre na na the minority fo no wadwen de NDC fo was won bobo sabiam IMF no won kobiem na won so nsugom na we no onyoyamfo di budget aboto che dem pempreze wa atoto won zama ye ankasa wakeka bia sisi enyim allocations che ro de na kwemboko enzesi ara no bosa biara nyu a wo kwa akwaje oyaza ho wo tutu won nyama ye we sisi hwanyama ye mesmo beya bosa samia enkobo mochi na bi no waso wati hwana che won kwekwe ti de waje bosa waza atu na wentua na ka won yaza wo tutu won zama ye kaka sisi won sikasam so oyaza ni na ra tumi agina na adoma bibi biara wo ye no so wen wada ho a wozi zida midwuma no
of this legal and constitutional obligation. Speaker, today I am not here to seek a supplementary estimate. The 2026 appropriations remains unchanged. Right, Honorable Speaker. However, we are undertaking a strategic realignment of expenditures within the existing appropriations. Mr. Speaker, government also affirms the following macroeconomic target for 2026. Overall GDP growth of at least 4.8%. Non-oil real GDP growth of at least 4.9%. Mr. Speaker, NDI inflation of 8% plus or minus 2%. A primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP on commitment basis, and a gross international reserves sufficient to cover not less than 3 months of import. Mr. Speaker, beyond fulfilling a statutory obligation, these statements tell the story of where Ghana stood, where Ghana stands today, and where Ghana is heading. Mr. Speaker, I respectfully request the full text of this mid-year fiscal policy review be captured in the Hansard in its entirety.
Ato since wa fortune any sikasam do na ozana sambi to go na hwe no so oba afam mo yemrasem mu na ho na rekada ni na so ya za orekodo ntutu ni gugugu na akwem ni na ni na ara no nya za oye bia ho nti na oye bi ntino na mmom no aban ne hyehyɛ ya wa hyehyɛ atowo ye ni nyama wa kekesi enyi mes mo ba ya bibi biara botum atodin no ona anam do mesesi ara ho mbra ho sam so ya za ogina na na ado ye ankasa.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the progress Ghana is recording today did not happen by chance. Some have suggested that our recent macroeconomic gains are simply the product of good fortune. Others have attributed the recovery solely to the debt restructuring program or the IMF program inherited in 2025. But Mr. Speaker, I firmly disagree. Our recovery is as a result of superior economic management. Mr. Speaker, for emphasis, I firmly disagree. Ghana's recovery is as a result of superior economic management. Debt restructuring may create fiscal space, but it does not create fiscal discipline. Right, Honorable Speaker, an IMF program may provide a framework, but it cannot substitute for sound policy, disciplined implementation, and political will. Sustainable economic recovery is built on good policy choices, competent economic management, and disciplined execution, and most importantly, courageous leadership.
Enza ye kwekoti ye Dr. Kesio atofo se na chedendeze no yaza o wansam kan bebre biem so oba hene sikasem afam open ohia ho no oyaza o chede mpempre no first no no eno yaza ohia no mu yazi ni ye ankasa nanso sesiare no wohwa ohia mu no oyaza abafam ye ankasa ni na wohunu mu tede yene suku wonsam yana apomeze wonsam na yenza makesenkiti bi no oyaza ni nara atoto ye nti ohun de ohia afam no so oyaza sesiare no abafam ye ankasa.
Multidimensional poverty, which measures deprivation across living conditions, education, health, and employment, declined from 24.9% in Q3 of 2024 to 21.9% in Q3 of 2025. Mr. Speaker, this simply means that about 950,000 Ghanaians moved out of the multidimensional poverty in just 1 year. Mr. Speaker, behind these statistics are the hundreds of thousands of families who now enjoy better living conditions and greater hope for the future. Right, Honorable Speaker, inflation perhaps tells the clearest story of all. Inflation declined from 23.8% in December 2024 to 5.4% at the end of 2025 and remained low at 5.3% in June 2026. Fiscal performance has also exceeded expectations. The primary balance on commitment basis recorded a surplus of 2.5% of GDP as at the end of 2025. By end of June 2026, we had achieved a primary surplus of 0.9% of GDP on commitment basis. We are firmly on track to achieve our end year target of 1.5% of GDP.
Ayo na chede swafo na samoze ben oyazande ne mudosu ne musu yewem ankasa ni na na chi no wenja ho da big push no so oyaza orokodu bizibizi chede kwan no oyaza mpemfo wozegu na akwemu aye wazamenye osisi anbe ye 87 no na wo ye de me edwuma no na numbe 15 pose oyaza chede kumna trono eno yaza wo wie kra big push no so yaza orobu anti wo to wonza ma ye mes mo ba ya bibiara etumadede na akwemu nti nda media budget no ensam bebre a wo kan ebini.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Government Big Push Infrastructure Program is driving the largest coordinated investment in strategic transport infrastructure in recent years, with projects underway in all 16 regions of the country. Mr. Speaker, work has commenced on 87 projects, comprising 74 trunk roads and bridges, 10 urban roads and 3 feeder roads. Mr. Speaker, by end of June 2026, 13 projects had reached at least 50% completion, including 6 projects that had exceeded 75%, while a further 15 projects had progressed beyond 25% completion. Significant progress has been made on key corridors, including the Kaswa-Winneba, Takrade-Aguna Junction, Ofanko in Sawom, Tepagoso, Adentandodowa, Tema Aflao, Penny Aflao, Wenchi Sola Atimpoku Ho Aflao, Tumu Han Laura, Tumu Navrongo and Winneba Cape Coast Takrade roads. Right, Honorable Speaker. The construction of the Swami Interchange Phase 2, the Sunyani, Tamale and Kumasi Outer Ring Road are progressing.
Yes, Abo! Mothers FM!
Yeah, Dr. Kesio ato force no church kwano baby bia wo ye kwano won na wankasa ehwe swafo so hwenye no kwan do ye kwame governors agboja odon say sum na ha na chede me gu adwuma ni timo ende de so oben so na wanye ne yanka wo baka na so adwuma orogbe no yaza o so nyi ankasa nto de etum ye bona about o send na ankasa ote wo no ehun na ni timo aye ne de ye ankasa
yentu akase ne swe na Oman Ghana photo stand for Dr. KASE3 ato forcing and 2026 media budget out coach na mrasebe dwem edit J add a ye dwuma da saken kan ye mamento aswe na osofo anu si ya pe na mrasebe dwemfo ebobo hu na bobo ni mu na futu mrasebe dwani wanu aso na edom kuma mrasebe dwem ba no dani osahene afenyo marking wono so bekasa. And Mr. Speaker, one can say, was a budget we paid empty. We nim. Sebi, I said, milk tone try not to knock. Oh, they never ye. We nim. And untimo be a money same pra. So I had on you who, if the budget no empty and so and was say, so what shall I buy soon a year? Well, ye pa, dear quack, or yes, I'm on your 17 no. Ya think Crawford say, go met your moon to me and cassa. And was washer no cry, ma me Camilla. I see walk 1 year. And ya Santiman temu, and people no crab at all James Nenny, Chema wound to me 20 years. And the walk of Chira Banco Kumu, as I hear Jumadea. Was signing after your mark and say, Sadia way in the wound is say, I'm on your sempa, and I buy no air.
This review is uninspiring. There is no inspiration. what we are experiencing in this country is persecution, persecution, persecution. For the first time, we are seeing political imprisonment. Who to me is a political prisoner. Mr. Speaker, Camila Al-Hassan, a young mother of 3, is also a political prisoner, telling you how intolerant you are, and you are here telling us you are running an economy. You want this to be a one-sided parliament. When people criticize you, you threaten them. A lot of my MPs here have been threatened. You are threatening members of parliament with prosecution. Let me serve a warning to the Attorney General that the ravening clouds shall no longer be victorious. They shall not long possess the sky. Be careful. 2028, you'll be in opposition. 2028. If you are not careful, Mr. Speaker, if you don't stop now, you will go and meet one to me there, and one to me will be out, and you will go in. So I'm advising you.
Aha, naturally say. Dom kumo mrasebedwen ba no den ni wono asan ye futu mrasebedwen ni won manyamfo afenyo mark no sanhene wo hwe nani brabri pa dia na nani abrese ko dom ya na dom dodo mrasebedwen ba no den ni won manyamfo mahama yare gase to choko na asem na kan meyiwa no pa eye na no ya wode ma won manyamfo afenyo mark ene e dom kumo mrasebedwen mu no eni.
Mr. Speaker, just to correct the records, there is no inconsistency between what the finance minister said and what his deputy mentioned some time ago. His deputy mentioned that he had given a release of 1.1 billion, 1.6 billion. Today, the finance minister reported that he has given 1.1 billion to the Ministry of Agriculture and he also paid 551 million for Farmer Services Center. If you put the two together, that's 1.6. That's one. It was presented. You see, the good thing about this media report. The good thing about this media report is that it was presented live on national television. Everybody was watching and they saw the figures projected.
Masibedwemfo ensentwofo nhyiemu de ene masibedwem ha enka ne oman Ghana photo sanfo abedi akire Dr. Muhammad Amin Adam what a di edom nanim na nesma wakan na ne se wo hwe budget pa dia kwosioko budget na ahye wo mo kwosioko budget pa na he kwosioko de na se budget na yade o yade tiase time ko hospital ne ekwo ne panie ni bi na wo se ye so ne akoda ka se kwosioko atena bonsu na fu na aboa anoa sei na nipadua na ya nyanga na fu na nim enti sa yade ni bi na ate budget enne o man Ghana photo stand for Dr. KASE3 Forsen Edward 2J
to the budget review presented by the Honorable Minister for Finance. As you agree with us, this government, from what has been submitted in Parliament, can best be described as talk more, do little government. Because the review has confirmed our description of the original budget, the 2026 budget, as having only bones, no meat. And for that matter, can best be described as Koscielko budget. The minister tried his best to do what he does best, propaganda, by his own data gave him out. His own data show that the honeymoon is over. They are now faced with the reality because this budget is empty and because it has no meat and they have no story, again the minister resorted to blame game. They've been doing this blame game from the time they assumed office in 2025. And after 18 months in government, they are still doing blame game.
Yes, Ambo! Mothers FM.
Ene na kwosho ko budget na enwa eno no na eye enka ne o man Ghana photo sanfo abedi akiri wo ye Dr. Amit Adam odi atu adwa no na ese kwosho ko no ache budget no yanto nkratu tew enfi eye kelele clothing ehumra ena KASE3 Ghana ho ye wi aka said yaka no ene donso a ye de ba beso mo enyi wa fidie no enfri he ya ye ba sesia.
Aha, eye kelele clothing. Me mama kwaba. Yeni yetimi ma wa ho fedanso. Ewa wontade shemu. Esan say, ye wo fabrics asoto nyine bi wa ha. African print. Kelele clothing die. Ye san so pam the show. Come on. Ye pam e mane mema kaftan. Corset, agbada, e mane mema die nyina. Embroidery, bubu, silk kaftan, political suits nina. Ye pem bi wa ha. Ye tira kwan ewa North Kaneshi Demold bus stop. And now dear friend, it was 0541 849 257 and now 0268 866 697. Aha! Kelele clothing.
UDS campus. Ewo Tamale Kumase Kwanso. Ye sanso wo executive wanzo. De da kromu pe. Na wo sanso pe. Asase yantam. E de ye kria anefu a. Ye will be with the whole Ghana. Eno ti hwehwe ye kira kwan. Ewo the main office. Accra, Tesano. Ye ne Ghana Telecom University and our police training school. Ene dinhwe ni mu. Waka so amalam kwantempono so. Amanfrom. Ye ne resurrection asori ne dinhwe ni mu. Na ye kwa amasaman so a. Opposite the Central Marks. Wo amasamai hwa. Oba krowa office no. E wo site ho pe. Afei Ashaiman. Ye ne lorry station no. Ene dinhwe ni mu. Freye 0302 963740. Ebiem 0302 963740. KASE3 Ghana Limited. Yenti usubetimi asidai. Adishimaima KASE3 Ghana Limited. Ye jumakubia. Ye si dine ton dine. Eton sase krujia. Mansubia ni hon. Wuto yen sase ibia. Ebe ya wudia forever and ever. Wabusian da chinti. Enunti. KASE3 say. Tia 10% pe. Na fe shasye. Usi dino. Na wuchane kakra. KASE3 nkwane won sase wo the whole Ghana. Ye won sase bi wo Greater Accra. Baby to say. Atoman. Kofi Donko. Imam Pehia. Danjra. Kaswa Obom. Dodowa. Kofi Kwe. Ayite Kote. Weja. Broadcaster. Ani Bebre. Sayakwa Central Region in Sua. Cape Coast. Ayensudo. J. Krodia. Portin. Gomwa Kwe Krum. Yankwa Eastern Region. Ensawem. Kwasinyako. Afram Krum. Afayentufa. Na Yankwa Northern Region. You will be Watamale. Nyampala. Ensasuno Bay. UDS Campus. E Watamale Kumase Kwanso.
There's a pensas papa na buda for mansu nyu wentwi biara nyi ho a onan KASE3 Ghana Limited branaba je won say na face so etumi esiwuda na kama afa so kelele clothing so yaza wo so hena senti petam papa epa ayefro bi akọ wedding bi akọ kire eyi bibi bia pede ekọ na epentare papa wa pam na preko a ne zan de bohwe mo kelele clothing kelele clothing ekọ abenya ni nyinare bi afa yezuru tufa every yes ka samwa yazoro ko yensu honsam Ministry of Fishes and Aquaculture and Pemprains is Swafford Pano Timemo Forest and poto osende galamse na wazi kunyane insu na oboyan ban yenye nam yezi frimono oyaza galamse no woye wo ho no mamisi oyazi mpa okwa ho asem no okaka ho asem wie ni na nachi no odra na dwa na mbrante kwa no wo shol na chede eguzi wotunda ma na wori se hene nsu ena yenza ma oboyan ho ban no nsem bi atugo chede wonje krakrakra enda ma sadachi mpo no wokodaro wo time ho na se wo so woni ma anhwenya ena wonyi ho na nzinye nti wonhwe na wonye bibi won famfam.
The streams in the forest reserve all flow eventually into the sea. So when this came to our attention, we took immediate steps in talking with the minister responsible for land and natural resources. Previously, when it came to our attention, we engaged and NIMOS immediately went in there and dismantled the operation. But subsequently, they've gone in there again and apparently they operate at night. So people are not aware and they are there and operating. That National Forest Reserve should be converted rather into a national park with permanent presence of wildlife staff and Forest Services Division staff so that they will not have access to go into it. But if the Galamsey does not stop, all our efforts at the marine protected area is useless.
Enza ye ye mami Emilia ata no ozene nsam atugwa biem so ozene nsam bi to go chede weze chira be over 18 good years ni nanso no oyaza chede timem 18 months ni oyaza timem funu nya de ta na what chede guda na woguda wo to from eguzi ni wese mo be ye wo be say yensu enanya nama yetumi enya na yetumi yedi so hena chede yedi danda ye nenum no oyaza timem fu bi wa hye woni timpon de wanze nsasena na wo be say na mami ezokobonsam ato
Over the past 18 months, we have laid important foundations. We have passed the Landmark Fisheries and Aquaculture Act. We have established Ghana's first marine protected area. We have strengthened fisheries enforcement. We have improved premixed fuel supply and introduced stronger accountability systems. We have expanded aquaculture development. We have opened new opportunities through offshore mariculture. We have advanced Ghana's blue economy agenda. We have strengthened partnerships with investment, knowledge, and innovation. These achievements are significant, but they are not the destination. They are the foundation upon which we will continue to build.
Mothers FM 102.7.
Ye mami Emilia ata no ozene nsam bi tugwa no.
Yetwaso ewo Mami Emilia Arthur one ya Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture. Wasajna simpieso edin sem etuja water say no anomabo Fisheries College no and say 70% eno mesie na say enter cry ba bebia no Mami senator say Ghana man penia wakoni kra echi Professor John Evans Atamils na penso and na wadisa college esi ho na eskukwasa kokwasa sa say the 70% what di a year and crunch sem amaman for what anomabo.
Fisheries College at Anomabu is a major part of this vision. Having inherited the project that commenced under Professor Mills, we are now approximately 70% complete, representing a long-term investment in the future of Ghana's fisheries sector. Cabinet has approved its governance structure and curriculum, paving the way for it to become Ghana's premier center for fisheries education, research, innovation, and professional training. When completed, the college will produce the next generation of fisheries managers, scientists, extension officers, and entrepreneurs who will lead a modern, technology-driven fisheries and aquaculture sector.
Yes, I'm Mothers FM.
And the Akokotie Ayon Monyan for Emilia Arthur, one Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture. One also any Akotie no.
Ye fi mami Emilia Arthur no drana no ye kopie mu wo kaswa ewutu senya east and this mebuna hodan sambi atuga wo hwede hwan constituency chairman no yaza wa suspend no sende on che biara no abato yaza ogugu na akwem na so banda na so we bibi otida ma na chede wenyu enzi ni ye kura wenyu na anhwe ni ye kura ntempempre no yaza wa ye cha wo hwede wanze won tase so banda ma na chede koro ye na nkambu ma oda we na wotu mo so no waze to aba no no ye de ma party ma no wo mu bechi chede nzama ni nkwaye enti was ready and painful one share no one ye bibi one fan from when you party members ni bi no one some bia o tuga.
Professor Jare is the engine behind the party. He is the party and the party is seen in this constituency. So when he said you have suspended the man just 2 months to constituency election. It means a lot to some of us.
Yeah, party members ni bi no and I wasn't one some be at go on nation so constituency secretary Michael KASE no so ya za ordinance be to go chere dem pempen di pe fo hwe na wanye bibi won fanfan anye dem ma ekroye ya za on ba hone mu na afi so chere me tete na nzama bi ya za on twe ye kra ndi pe fo hwe na wanye bibi won fanfan ho.
You would expect that once a petition is brought against somebody, the person that has been petitioned against should be given some form of a hearing. Do you get it? I just spoke to chairman. He hasn't seen any petition that has gone against him. Nobody has given him any formal hearing to understand his side of the story. All indication from how the processes has been, it is clearly looking like this the constituency executive election that is coming in just 2 months. Somebody does not want somebody to contest.
Mothers FM 102.7.
Eza ye constituency secretary or Michael KASE no zan nsam to gwa or dem pempen for one share na wonye bibi on fan fon send abato no onye cheri bi kra no da wotum hwe na nkambom kro ye tum de na akwemu mes mo be ya bibi biara wo be ya no so etum akonkan amohon
ye to akase ne sie de ni echre mu adanse asokwa na empempre wodru adanse asokwa de a ye nim se galamse no empempi no bon se kase gala na ye wo mia bi etu galamse no I know na crofese asase mo didi akọ mia bi kura wonsu se betu galamse no eho ena se de mo kwa akotu agenda 111 hospital a ewo adanse asokwa no eho pe ena se de galamse no e di atese ewo ho eno na national security for ete wo hungu so ye empempre ye kase de ma chi nipa mienu na nipa mienu no onipa kura eye site wo ye ne dia no kura no ya saso ne pechi eno ena ma deputy regional eye security coordinator Alhaji Omar FSM trofo eno de ensem etu ye nim se de sa nipa bienu o machi wo minhwemu pa ekoso se ne ebe ya won be duadua mu hu ade property ntia be mi ayesi hospital agenda 111 hospital be timi abotimi mufo no eho eno ma betu galai
we are standing on now is to be given a second chance, because some few weeks ago it was heavily degraded by illegal miners. Those who you are claiming we are treating them with kids gloves or whatever. As you can attest with me, whilst we are here, we've just picked some of the workers or some of the boys who are still around trying to work on the land to the RCC. And heavily degraded some few weeks ago, and now giving a second chance. So that is part of the fight for getting our lands back. And I can assure you, we are going to take them on, especially the illegal miners who did
soil, in order to break down or make the soil, in order to break down or make the chemicals in the soil lose its bioavailability. And we want to do this, and then after that, we apply carbon or activated biochar in order to make the soil reproductive again. And we want to do this because we've realized that anytime we do the reclamation, and sometimes you do planting, you even plant trees, and you leave, they come back and they start the mining, the illegal mining activities again.
We are working with Agricentric and then SIR and FORIC, but from what they tell us, from their science data and logics, we realize that there are two things. The bioremediation Agricentric is bringing on board, and then there's another part of it called phytoremediation. They use trees, biochar, and then these animals, if all these chemicals, there are other animals that feed on these chemicals. So there's a way to make sure that we reverse the effects now.
Mothers FM 102.7.
Reverse no dia ho behia pa ye fi say yensa ase ne de chese oba de ne po de ma ye nensa ase no edidia magalande say no dia de kura wo so a tomatoes ne meke kan ye no ba ye ebe boss be bie ma say tomatoes say ho shen wo bie ma na no green pa wo de ye kura eno so enye yi ne wa ye den Say tomatoes why you na dey nsase na e bedua wo so no kura e bi so kura ni ho.
African Union Extraordinary Health Summit akodo wan krempunkuni manto mu na ho na Director General Zuma African Center for Disease Control na fe Prevention ye twenty na Africa CDC tinsambi atugwa fa nyana yerba ho sensem orekodo na we na okansam bi fa Ebola ho chede Ebola no so yaza sesiaro no orukun krofo ye ankasa yare bi ohyehyehye ho monde humbonde timtom na da ho a orechede sesiaro ne yenye sika twetwe da no mu yezini ye ankasa ye 1.4 billion ye tumi za so da me yerba nkinkete na orkunkun ye no wo oman Ghana mu ha no ye tumi ahwe na ye za so ano.
We are talking about 518 million. Today we are talking about 1.4 billion. If we don't have this money, we'll not stop this outbreak. But let me congratulate African countries. President and Minister Edouard Bisimana, they assigned a target of 100 million. We already reached 110 million.
Enza ye kwetie ye ora Jane Kasiya Northern Sambi Atuga on no so African Union Commissioner Zuma Health amachum amwa so den Sambi to go richard and pemprens malaria no so yaza orukunya na ankasa malaria ye hwenezi beka da yaza onfa ho bia na da yereba bi kitikiti bia na so on no so yaza orukunya ne ye ankasa ntin yema yenwa ntum onko ho.
Africa carries approximately 94% of global malaria cases and 95% of malaria deaths. Behind these figures are children who never reach their 5th day, families pushed deeper into poverty, and economies deprived of human potential. The maternal mortality burden is equally unacceptable.
Yes, Abo! Mothers FM!
Enza ye kwetie ye amachum amwa no so ordinance Sambi Tugwa.
Yebesore kasia ne so nanso ansa na no memfa eye enkabo entwem enai entna wiase ema wa hofa albesi abonten no bon se bewie no no obi atreten sahwe enyu kwan se nya satade na efo enkoyie enu nti ena kelele clothings ensi efa metu wenim se fa African print Indian eye lace and nasa Italian eye ntade enyina fa bedan wo mo na wooden print so de o makodar mu pa eye wo de ya ne se bra fa wo body na akasa begina ho wo de begina ho a no mo so body ni sa ne apama hyew na wo si abonte e beka say you en na baba we anasa brantra wo kwekura ho na pam na tade ne ma no en kopoma tade tro ka bia nhye kwa wiase no na se wo material no kra no asase no eno koye sa ade na se wato ade abokapa eye wo mo not kaneshi na atade no de eye lace tie and die de keka ho nyina no wo mo obi e wo ho de yan so we pusu ahomai na panyimfo aje ofeso 0541 849257 0541 849257 and I say 0268 866 697 0268 866 697 wo fra wo mo a on be kire wo kire akwan na ntade ne materials de bebre eno mo wo material bi a wo pa bi a bo makache a wo benya bi wo ho wo pa wo de ne fa wo star bra so wo bi de na de se wo ni bi so kra de a wo de oba wo body na nkasa won be pama tade ahso ama wo so say you wo body na nkasa kasa wo si abonten a ne wo say na political suit no pen bi kra wo ho ubonso hu obi de pa bonso na betty say shoulder partner so anase ne makura wuntimi hu omo de amonya sama omo not connection de hian say ahome ya be tu jo be from no maje ofeso
eno no yeso yebakọ yeze we wura Mother Steve Mother FM osende hia na ahwefo no ye pe hona asam ye do honi nti no ya zampemfo wa ye hona adwende wo tren hia na ahye ni mu eza akọ new satellite fofo kra na we na mbobo hia ni frequency ni na eza am chede be bia fa biara benya bi no na hia ni frequency ni ye 12303 symbol rate no so ye 27500 polarization no so ye horizontal position so ye 26 east na afa Arab sat bad no so ye a ni nyinara no chede scan na ze kodam nzam ya mbo adrina oyaza benye ho benye Mothers TV Mothers FM ne wo satellite foforo no do kranti ye pe wasem ntino na ye show de ye bodam nzam United actual Miss mo ba ya se bi mpo a ehu ya na etuma ekowura ha na ehu da ye ho no so ye bo ho gwan si Mothers TV ya yaza ye dwemo ho panti mo ba biara no so oyaza ye zeba bra wono sende mo dwen ho ye so ye dwon mo ho eti aha na ye ze abadaya kase ni nyinara bebe si na de bia ye ka wo de dwemo ko a wo so hena se ye KASE Estate Ghana Limited insati papa na buda for mansu nyu ho wentwi biara nyi ho no ona KASE Estate Ghana Limited de bia me sure de bana ba je wonsase onche biara no na wo so etum aye efera afesu nya na nkoten na kalele clothing so yaza wo so hena se Miss mo ba ya wo baby ko yere ko aye fro che de baby ntentem na nyama na aboda ekọ hwa efra ho ne pe no yaza nzam no bo mo bi ma hyakra na ekoso a oyaza wan fama edemu sron kokra na afi ye jebre netie kase bo no na poso
kase ba unya na ntia se ene dai eno my Ghana photo samfo ekọ mra sebedwem what the 2026 media budget no ekotu dwa na so ansa no beko no mra sebedwem fo bebre edo mo expectations so etudwa
ansa na wobakenkan budget no so oyaza atmemfo no ye bi ensam bi to go bi san wonde eba hon expectation be na wo nyim another wo pefa budget won na nsam a wo to go a wo hwede wo pede hia na cost of living no boko for Miss mo ba ya brabo no mu no botum akozin zaman de bia krata no do na efefefe na so oyaza nyipa na nkasa no bo hwan de yete wa ye bre
expectation sensem ya no ko mfimfim mantem ho ena mankasi mo mahina wo eso efrese say media budget ya your my Ghana photo samfo bekan wono de okan nan se beboa mo my Ghana economy ni so etimi agina branding
sikasami won sensem ya so ena so afọhwe ni sikado izin sambi to go reshede say siara no yaza on my Ghana for ena mpanyefo atoto won zama ye kura nti say abosa biara nyi bebia wo bokwa akwaje waza abehye on my Ghana mu we can some bebre na ho ena yezeba abosom wo Mothers TV Mothers FM ami amze kase boy bosom